Hmm. VR gaming or console gaming. Which one is truly the future? Hmm? Should you stick to your regular console gaming like Xbox or PlayStation? Or is it time to dive into virtual reality? Let's settle this once and for all. Hey, I'm Anthony. Welcome back to Player One of Lagos, where we give you all things about gaming and virtual reality, and also any other thing about physical and digital esports entertainment. So today, I want to talk about virtual reality and console gaming. I mean, where do you think your choice lies? Or which one do you think is the future of gaming right now? Which one do you think is the best of the two? Well, let me be factual. I'm going to be giving you my own opinion and what I think, because I know that I'm a virtual reality lover. I love all things virtual reality. In fact, I started my game center because of virtual reality. I've done it before, but I went back into it just because of virtual reality. So I just want to know what you guys think. I mean, which one dominates? Where does your interest lie? You know, consoles like PlayStation, Xbox, and all kinds of console apart from PC gaming, because PC is a different, it's a different category on its own. When we're talking about console gaming, we're talking about just PlayStation and Xbox, because those are the two main gaming consoles. I don't want to go into PC gaming because PC gaming is on another level. So when we're talking about console gaming, we're talking about PlayStation and Xbox. And we know that they have the latest gaming technology. They have the latest graphics, especially the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. We know that they have the best of the best games. They have a very huge library of content compared to the virtual reality. And recently, the console games have become so fast. Unlike back in the days of PS1, loading times were like a nightmare. So console games have really evolved. They have evolved into something outstanding. 4K graphics, ray tracing, you name it, magnificent views, HDR, and all that. But at the end of the day, you are still looking at a screen. True of us. We are still looking at a screen. It's all about screen time, watching and playing on a flat screen, on a TV screen, using what we call controllers. This is all about console gaming. Yes. Oh, this is Nintendo Switch. It's not a controller. Where's my PS5 controller? I have a lot of them here. Okay. So that's what it's all about. Screen and controller. However, do not get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying that they are bad though. The immersion is still there. Console games are very good. Great graphics, great gameplay, great cinematography and all that. So I mean, check out games like Last of Us. Madass. Epic of all time. How about Halo? Another crazy game. So we have a lot of fantastic games on console. However, what if you could step inside the game? I mean, forget Elden Ring, forget Spider-Man 2, God of War. Which other one? Which other one do they have? I mean, insanely badass games, madass games. But what if you could step inside the game? And that is where virtual reality comes in. That is where it comes in. Virtual reality puts you inside the game. And in this virtual reality, you are not holding a controller. You are the character. Check that out. The immersion is out of this world. I mean, you are now the character. Imagine playing a game in which you are the character. That is what we call the next level of gaming. Not all these console games that are just there, hold controller. If you have a good 4K screen, but you're never inside. Console games are still good. Clearly, console game dominates, but virtual reality takes you to the next level, puts you inside the game, makes you the character of the game. There is nothing that beats that till this present day. Gaming on another level. This just shows that virtual reality is a completely different level of immersion. Imagine racing in Gran Turismo. I mean, Gran Turismo has VR and non VR. But just imagine racing in Gran Turismo VR. You see, when we talk about virtual reality, if you play a horror game in virtual reality, okay, if you play a horror game in virtual reality, oh my god, oh my god. Virtual, you see, it's no longer just about pressing buttons, tapping that controllers. This time around, it's like you are actually there, the player. So it's a completely different ball game. It's all about living the experience. Who do you think is the winner? Well, for me, it depends. It depends. If you want cinematic, story-driven experiences, console games are there. But if you want total immersion and interaction, virtual reality wins clearly, hands down. So when we talk about game libraries, when we talk about game catalogs and variety, there is no doubt console dominates in game variety. Hey, there are hundreds of thousands of titles. Name it now. From RPGs to sports to shooters to racing. Plus, you get iconic exclusives like maybe God of War, Halo, and FIFA FC. Exclusive. You can't see those ones in VR. Like, never. But VR gaming has grown. It has grown and it is growing very, very fast. Yeah, we have some AAA games in VR, like Half-Life Alex. Best of the best. We have a lot of them, a lot of them. We have Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil was once a console game, but once they ported it into VR, it was AAA and it was sold out. One of the best-selling games in PlayStation VR. Resident Evil 4 VR. Even on MetaQuest, on PC VR, Resident Evil 4 just took over the charts because this was a game that people loved on console. But imagine you playing it as the main character. So virtual reality has its own. It has its own. Even though console game has a very, very large variety. Unarguably one of the largest titles and varieties and catalogs of games worldwide. I mean, they've been there since, I mean, almost a decade now, honestly. I mean, days of Atari, Famicom, Nintendo, Sega. I mean, virtual reality is just less than 10 years old. So, you can't compare now. Console has its class. It was all about console game. Virtual reality is just being born. Just 10 years, less than 10 years. And see how it is taking over. I mean, we know. I know that VR is still catching up. I know. I'm going to be very, very honest. In as much as I love virtual reality and I love all things that has to do with virtual reality. Ever since I discovered virtual reality, it's been very, very difficult for me to play any other kind of game that is not virtual reality. I mean, I play my driving games in virtual reality. And I can't even play Flight Simulator even with triple screen. It has to be VR. So, you know, I agree that, virtual reality is still new. Still very new. right? And I know that you will not find the biggest libraries of games in virtual reality anytime. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to beat the console gaming library anytime soon. It is not even going to get there. Console games are still coming out every every week. VR games, maybe once in a month, you hear a new title. In fact, some titles are being delayed because you have to work and work and work and make it better. So we still have a long way to go in virtual reality. But when we look at now, let's look about cost. Now let's talk about cost. Hmm. From what I have, PlayStation 5 cost around how much? Let me see. Yes, around $500 thereabouts. Xbox Series X is about the same. What else do we have? Yeah, you plug into a TV, you grab a controller, and boom, that's all. Very easy. But for VR, MetaQuest is around $500 plus. MetaQuest 3, yes, it's around $500 now. But if you want high-end VR, like Valve Index, Pimax Crystal Light, you need a very powerful gaming PC, and that one is like $1,500 in total. So in terms of cost, I think console still has more. It's not as it's not as expensive as setting up a virtual reality. So in terms of cost, the console is clearly the winner here. Virtual reality is not just as easy as just buying one headset. I mean, virtual reality is not as easy as just buying one console and get a controller. You need a lot of things. You need space. You need to have a good setup, good lighting environment, cable management, and sometimes a mad-ass PC. Sometimes, though, MetaQuest you can play without a PC. But I mean, you want to enjoy virtual reality to the max. You need a PC. Let's be real. Let's be real. Those stunning graphics are PC. Or you get a PS5 and you get a VR headset. That's PSVR 2. Which is even as expensive. Just the PSVR 2 headset, in some cases, is as expensive as a PS5 console on its own. So you can imagine how expensive a VR setup is, coupled with the fact that you need a very good space. You can't just put it in front of your couch, and you need to have good space no matter what, because you'll be moving your hands around and all that. Ugh. So for me, in terms of budget simplicity, I think console is a clear winner here. If you want plug and play game, console is the easiest. If you are ready to invest in the future of gaming, that is only when virtual reality is worth it. Now, let's talk about the social gaming aspects and multiplayer aspects. Well, I know that nothing beats couch and co op and online multiplayer. I mean, you have it in FIFA, FC 24, Call of Duty, Fortnite. Just invite your friends, sit down, everybody, hold one controller, you hold the other controller, and the game is on. But for virtual reality, it's different. Virtual reality has multiplayer games too, quite alright. But you need another extra virtual reality headset. You need to have internet. But their multiplayer games are very good though. The interaction is great. It's crazy. But it's not as enjoyable as console gaming. You need enough space. If you want to play in the same area, you need enough space. I mean, check out our virtual reality arena where we have 6 players max. We are using about 8 by 6 square meters just for the arena itself. So you can imagine, for just one player, you need about minimum of 2.5 by 2.5 square meter. I mean, just imagine. So, and multiplayer in virtual reality is not so widespread yet. It's still not it's not as easy as console. Their requirements are so much. You need to be online. You need to have a LAN connection or a router. A lot of requirements. Unlike the console that you just plug and play, hold controller, add player, player one, player two. Well, the winner goes to console for multiplayer and social gaming. The console still wins. So the console still has an edge over virtual reality, hands down. So let me ask you, which one do you think is right for you? Now let's look at the breakdown. For immersion, virtual reality is the winner, hands down. For game variety, console wins because they have a lot of games. For budget and simplicity, when you talk about cost, it's easier to just get a PS5 or an Xbox. So console is still the winner. For future innovation, VR is the future. Clearly, virtual reality is the future. So if you wait, it's not about anyone that is better. It's not about which one is the best. It's not about I prefer VR, I prefer console. It's not about console is the best or VR is the best. I don't think it's about that anymore. Honestly, I think it's about what you prefer. I think it's about what kind of gamer that you are. If you're a VR gamer, you love VR. If you're a console gamer, you love console gamer. We have people that love just keyboard, not even controller. They hate controllers. They play with keyboard or nothing. Keyboard and mouse, PC gamers. That one is another. You know, when we're talking about PC game, you can't just say console. You can't categorize PC as a console. But it's on screen too. But it is on another level because on PC you can have triple screen, you can have panoramic screen. You can't have that on any console yet. Up to this day, no console can give you triple screen display. So console PC is not really a console. Don't get me wrong. Even though it's on screen, it's like console. You look at your screen. PC is another category on its own. I mean, you plug a VR to a PC. You plug a console to a PC. You can have triple screens on a PC. You can have virtual reality on a PC. You can't have that on console. You can have VR now, thanks to PlayStation. Yeah, PlayStation is the only console that has virtual reality. But PC is multi. You know, you can have everything on a PC. So I will not really compare when I'm talking about console and VR. I mean Xbox, PS, and virtual reality, because virtual reality now, the dominating virtual reality is MetaQuest, and the rest Pimax Crystal, Pico, and all the others. But we know that MetaQuest is the dominating virtual reality, and the dominating console is PS5 and Xbox Series X in some regions. So those are where we have, you know, a battle to drag. So, what kind of gamer are you? Are you a PC gamer? This is not for you. Just watch and listen. If you are a console gamer or you are a VR gamer, which one do you think you prefer? Definitely a console gamer will prefer a console, and a VR gamer. Some people will like the two. But what kind of a gamer are you? What kind of a gamer are you? You know, we have very few virtual reality gamers because console has always been there. We are born into console gaming. But virtual reality gaming was born to us. So there are two different things. We are born into console gaming. When we were giving birth, we met console gaming. It was already there. But as we grew up, virtual reality was born. So virtual reality just came when we had console. So it's something very new. Less than 10 years old. 10 years old, thereabouts. So, yeah. And it had just started gaining momentum just recently, and it's growing every day. It gained momentum in 2016, it died, and it's back again, and it's growing sporadically now. So, if you're a classic multiplayer fan, stick to your consoles, because you cannot play FIFA or FC or PES or MK. You cannot play that on virtual reality. You cannot play on the couch, sit with your friends and share a controller in virtual reality. I mean, virtual reality comes with two controllers, but the two controllers belong to one player. I mean, but a console that comes with one controller, you get a controller, you get another controller, and boom, multiplayer, interaction, bonding. a lot of things. But virtual reality cuts you off. In fact, it is antisocial. It cuts you off. However, if you want to try any of them, just come down to our game cafe at Insta VR Game Cafe. We are located in the Lagos State, Nigeria. And we have everything. We have the console gaming, we have the PC gaming, we have the virtual reality gaming, we have the non PC, non VR, non console gaming. Just come and try them all here. Come and know the one you like. Please don't forget to hit the like button as usual. Subscribe for more gaming content, as I'll be giving you back to back gaming content, gaming information, gaming insights. I'll be talking about different kinds of gaming ideas, gaming strategies, gaming concepts, and all things that has to do with gaming. And as much as that, I'll also be showcasing our daily highlights, what we do at our game cafe, talking about myself, talking about my employer, my team members, talking about people I work with, talking about my collaborators. I'll be talking about everybody and most of the things I plan to do in future, which is my expansion. I'm looking at expanding and bringing this virtual reality to various communities, especially for the aspect of education and entertainment, of course, leisure. Virtual reality and gaming really solves a lot of problems. It helps us a lot. It takes your mind off a lot of things. A very therapeutic experience, and it is something we should start taking seriously, especially in this part of the world. So, guys, thank you, and see you next time.